This is going to be a really exciting video because we're finally going to learn how to style our web page so it doesn't look like this really hideous looking default web browser styling. So the first thing I want to remind you about is that when we write HTML, we start with an opening tag and we end with a closing tag usually. But there's another thing that you can put in here, and that is attributes. So if you see here, for example, in this meta tag here, there's two attributes. There's the HTTP equiv and the content attribute, and each one of those attributes has a value that's separated by, from the attribute name by an equal sign. So as an example here, and this is broken over a few lines, but it still applies here, the image tag supports a source attribute, src, and that's so you can put the URL that you want to, that shows the image. And it also supports, for example, the height attribute, among other attributes. Now, we're going to learn right now about a new attribute that's going to help us style the web page. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm going to put an equal sign here, and the attribute that we're going to learn about is called style. So I'm going to put style, and then I'm going to put my double quotes, and inside of the double quotes, I'm going to start with some styling. Now you can see already VS Code is actually getting us started here. There's a whole ton of styles. I'm going to scroll and you'll just see there's so many styles to learn about. Now, I'm not going to be able to teach you about every style, but I'm going to show you a few, and you sort of will pick up the rest of them as you go along, as you realize, hey, I'd really like to style something like this. You do a little bit of Google searching and you'll figure out exactly what you need to do. But let's get started. So this text, H1, let's say I wanted to change the color. And this is styling that's going to apply just to the words sesame chicken here. So let's say I want to say the color of the text, and the color is a styling property. So I'll say color, and then I'll put a colon, and now I'll give the name of the color that I want it to be. Now in CSS, you can do something as simple as, let's say, making it blue. And you can see VS Code even helps out with this little blue color swatch thing here. So I'll save the file, I'll come over here, and I'll refresh. And if you can see here, that is now written in blue. So it's pretty straightforward. There's also a background color property. So let's just type that, background dash color. And I'll make that maybe what will be the most hideous. How about yellow? So I'll save that and refresh. And now you can see there's that the background for the sesame chicken, which extends all the way over to the end of the right side, is now shown in yellow. Notice that the format here is we have a style property, equal sign. Then inside of our double quotes, we're going to put the name of the property that we want to style, and then the value. And then you can do multiple of those separated by a semicolon. So I can put another semicolon here. And maybe I'll put, how about this one? Text align. And I'll make that center. So I'll save that, refresh, and now you can see that Sesame Chicken is written in the center in the middle. Now, obviously, this is hideous. Let's not get back to 1990s style of, styling of our web page, but these are just the types of things that you can do. So let's go down to our ingredients, and we're going to style each one of these to have a different font. So basically, I'm going to scroll down to here, and I'm going to use the same trick as we did before. I'm going to hold the Option key as I click around. So I'm going to try to get each one of these H3s. So I'll do a space, and then again the style attribute, and then inside of the double quotes, I'll put, let's say, font size to be 30 pixels. So that's 30px, and I can optionally put the semicolon right now just so I don't forget. I'll save that, and I'll come over here and refresh. And you can see now that each one of these subheadings here is now shown bigger. Now, this isn't really the optimal way of setting the styles, and I'm going to show you in a future video how we can style a lot of this stuff more cleanly. but I just wanted to show you the basics so that you understand the fundamentals. Let's just go through a couple of other random properties. So for the ingredients, which is shown here, let me set the style on that one to be, how about a font family of, let's say there's one called monospace, which shows it like with like one of those old time fonts, like from a typewriter. And I'll also make the color for that one orange. So I'll save that, come over here, refresh, and now you can see what we get. So obviously, we're kind of going backwards in terms of uh, setting styles that actually make this web page look better. It now looks much, much worse. But I just wanted to give you a taste of what you can start to do with styling. This is basically just the structure. It's again style tag, equal sign, inside of double quotes, you put a list of your styles separated by the semicolon. Each style is going to be the name of the style, and then and then what the actual value for that one will be. So it's pretty straightforward. All right, and I want to show you one other really cool thing. So basically, let's say I want all of the text in here to have a similar font style. Like this one has a monospace style, but let's say I want all of them to be what's called sans serif. So I can actually go up here to the body tag, which is wrapping all of these other ones. It's sort of like the parent to the H1 over here, and the image, and the section, and everything like that. So I can go into this body tag and say, well, let me make a style here that the font family should be sans serif. So I'll save that and I refresh, and look what happened. It changed the font family for all of these other things that are inside of it, even though inside of here, like this H1, I didn't specify that the font family should be, anything different than the default, which was Times New Roman or whatever it is. But you see how it changes everything on the page. Well, it actually didn't change one thing, and that's the ingredients. So why is that one still shown as a monospaced font? Because here I've explicitly written out what the font family should be, and it's just more specific because you sort of think of it like this one for the that's applied on the body will apply to all of its children, but because we're sort of more specific here, then this one sort of overrides it, and that's going to be an important thing to know when we're talking about styling our web page, like all the ways you can sort of override the font, override the styling as you get more specific. Now, like I said, there's just a ton of properties, and I'm not going to be able to go through all of them in any one video, but I really encourage you to go look around on the internet and go explore. Go try to see what other properties, how can you make your styling hopefully a little bit nicer than this one. And just again, explore the different options that you have for styling, and go make mistakes. It's okay. You can always go back to the original. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to give a like, subscribe if you want to see the next ones, and I will see you in the next video.